Soft rain whispers against the window pane as Lydia enters Mia's room, carrying a cup of warm milk. Mia lies in bed, clutching her blanket tight, her small form a silhouette against the dim light of the plastic moon. Crayon drawings adorn the walls, a childlike landscape marred by repeated images of a tall, dark, faceless man. The innocent comfort of childhood is haunted by the ominous presence of the faceless figure lurking in the shadows of Mia's imagination. Lydia regards Mia with growing concern, a knot forming in her stomach as she takes in Mia's innocent expression. Lydia tries to maintain a composed facade as she asks, "You've been busy, huh?" Mia's reply hangs in the air, chilling Lydia to the bone. "He told me to draw him so I don't forget." Lydia presses, her voice barely a whisper. "Who told you that?" Mia's gaze drifts towards a dark corner, her voice small as she says, "The man in the corner." In the doorway of Mia's softly lit bedroom, Lydia's silhouette appears, the nightlight casting long shadows across the scattered toys. Lydia's face is etched with fatigue as she gazes at her sleeping daughter. She leans in, her touch gentle as she kisses Mia's forehead, a silent promise of protection. "Honey, there's no one here. You just imagined it," Lydia whispers, her voice a soothing balm against the night's terrors. Mia stirs, her eyes wide with a fear that belies her age. "He only moves when the light goes off." Lydia sighs, a mix of concern and helplessness in her eyes as she tries to reassure Mia, the weight of the unseen heavy in the room. Darkness blankets Mia's bedroom, thick and unsettling. Lydia's eyes dart towards the closet, catching a subtle ripple in the shadows. Mia whimpers, fear tightening her small features. She clutches the blanket, pulling it over her head as if to ward off unseen terrors. Her voice, small and pleading, pierces the silence. "Mommy, turn it back on, please." Lydia hesitates, her hand hovering over the switch, caught between fear and reassurance. She flips the nightlight back on, casting a warm, protective glow over the room. "See? No monsters. Just shadows," Lydia whispers, her voice soft and soothing. As Lydia turns to leave, a subtle, almost imperceptible movement stirs behind her, unseen but felt. In the dead of night, Lydia lies in her bed, eyes wide open in the darkness. The baby monitor on the nightstand emits a constant crackle of static, the only sound in the room. Suddenly, the static is pierced by faint voices, chilling Lydia to the bone. One voice is undeniably Mia's, her baby daughter, clear and innocent. The other is a deep, malevolent whisper, unrecognizable and utterly terrifying. Lydia jolts upright in bed, her heart hammering against her ribs, a primal fear gripping her. Lydia's heart pounds in her chest as she hears Mia's faint voice crackling through the monitor. A surge of adrenaline courses through her as she bursts into Mia's room, her face a mask of fear and fierce determination. "Mia," Lydia cries out, her voice trembling with a desperate urgency. A chilling reply echoes from the monitor. "He says he wants to meet you." Mia bolts upright in her bed, eyes wide with fear, staring intently at the darkest corner of her room. The nightlight casts long, dancing shadows that flicker ominously across the walls. On the third flicker, a voice whispers, unseen, unheard. Lydia sees a tall shadow shape beside the bed. Each pulse of light heightens the tension, turning familiar shapes into grotesque figures. The shadow looms, a silent, towering presence that threatens to engulf the small room. When the light steadies, it's gone. The voice concludes, leaving only lingering fear in the stillness. In the dimly lit bedroom, shadows stretch and twist on the walls as Mia shakes her head, her face etched with worry. "You'll make him mad," Mia whispers, her voice barely audible in the gloom. Lydia's defiant words cut through the tension. "No one's here to be mad, baby." With a swift, secretive motion, Lydia pockets the bulb, plunging the room deeper into shadow. The door is left ajar, a sliver of light offering little comfort against the encroaching darkness. Silence hangs heavy in the hallway outside Mia's room, disturbed only by the faintest sound. Lydia strains to hear, her breath held as a soft whisper drifts from behind the closed door. A laugh follows a man's laugh, low and unsettling, cutting through the quiet. Dread pools in Lydia's stomach as the wrongness of the sound sinks in. The hallway seems to shrink, amplifying the sinister sound emanating from Mia's room. The room plunges into darkness as the power fails, a sudden, ominous silence broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. Lydia's face flickers with pale light as she frantically grabs for her phone, the screen casting eerie shadows across the room. Rising from her bed, Lydia holds the phone aloft, its beam cutting through the oppressive darkness. With cautious steps, she creeps toward Mia's room, the silence amplifying every creak and whisper of the night. In the hallway, Lydia is bathed in a faint light seeping from under Mia's closed door. A shadow stretches and contorts the light, unsettling the calm. Lydia's face is a mask of apprehension as she calls out softly, "Mia?" Silence hangs heavy, amplifying her growing unease. Her voice sharpens with fear, demanding, "Who's there?" The distorted shadow looms, an ominous presence in the narrow hallway. Faint light etches the dresser's edge, painting the bedroom in elongated shadows. On the floor, an unsettling tableau unfolds, toys arranged meticulously in the shape of a human body, arms outstretched, legs splayed. The toy figure casts a disturbing silhouette against the dim light. The scene whispers of childhood innocence twisted into something deeply unsettling. In Mia's bedroom, the flashlight sputters, its beam faltering before casting a stark, unwavering light. Toys lie scattered, their familiar shapes twisted into grotesque parodies of joy. A once-loved doll stares blankly, its dismembered limbs casting long, eerie shadows. The closet door hangs ajar, a dark abyss promising unknown terrors. The sliver of darkness beckons, inviting a descent into the heart of fear. In the suffocating darkness of Mia's bedroom, an eerie whisper coils through the air, chilling the silence. A disembodied voice slithers from the shadows, accusatory and haunting. "You took my light." The darkness seems to deepen, pressing in as a palpable sense of dread fills the room. A desperate plea echoes, laced with terror. "Stay away." The air grows heavy, charged with unseen menace and mounting fear. An oppressive silence descends once more, leaving a lingering sense of violation and dread in its wake. Darkness blankets Mia's bedroom, the shadows deepening as an unseen presence fills the space. A voice echoes through the room, its source unknown, its tone unsettling. The darkness seems to intensify, pressing in from all sides, as if responding to the unseen speaker. The air grows heavy, charged with an unspoken tension that hangs thick in the shadows. A chilling revelation cuts through the silence, the voice a haunting reminder. "She kept it on. You didn't." The weight of the words settles, casting a pall over the room and leaving an ominous question lingering in the air. In Mia's bedroom, the air crackles with unseen tension. A cold, wet breath brushes against Lydia's ear, sending shivers down her spine. The tranquility of the room shatters. A piercing scream erupts, tearing through the silence. Lydia's scream echoes. Her scream competes with the raging storm outside. The morning sun casts a stark light over Lydia's house, now a focal point of hushed dread. Neighbors gather with faces etched with worry and morbid curiosity, their whispers filling the air. Police officers methodically move through the house, their presence a grim signal of violated peace. Each photograph taken, each question asked, deepens the shadows of mystery shrouding the scene. A meticulous investigation begins, seeking answers amidst the unsettling calm of a suburban morning. In Lydia's living room, morning light reveals Mia on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes betraying a recent storm of emotion. Her gaze is distant, lost in thought, as if she is still replaying the events. An officer crouches beside her, a silent, respectful observer of her grief. The weight of unspoken words hangs heavy in the air, a palpable presence in the room. In an echoing, unknown location, a uniformed officer kneels, his expression gentle but firm. He seeks eye contact with MIA, a little girl with pigtails, her silence heavy with unspoken words. Mia's gaze remains fixed, lost in the shadows of the hallway, a world away from the officer's reach. The officer's voice, soft and probing, cuts through the silence. "Sweetheart, do you know where your mommy went?" Mia's face is unreadable, lost in her own world of trauma. The hallway stretches on, mirroring the distance between the officer's questions and Mia's hidden answers. A sliver of light spills from the cracked door, hinting at the mysteries within Mia's bedroom. On the bedside table, the broken nightlight sputters back to life, its glow faint and erratic. The pulsing light casts long, dancing shadows across the room, a silent, eerie beacon. The room holds its breath as the broken nightlight flickers. An uneasy feeling settles within. As the nightlight pulses with unknown energy, the window casts a faint reflection across the room, barely illuminating the scene. A tall, faceless figure looms ominously over Mia's bed, a silent predator in the dim light. The air thickens with a sense of dread, the figure's presence, an unseen weight pressing down. Mia sleeps on, unaware of the looming darkness that threatens to engulf her. The figure remains motionless, a dark silhouette against the faint glow, its intentions unknown. Shadows dance ominously across the walls of Mia's bedroom, the air thick with unspoken tension and a chilling presence. An unseen figure whispers from the depths of the room. The disembodied voice breaks the silence with a taunting revelation. "Told you I like the dark." A palpable sense of dread settles, the room growing colder as the shadows seem to deepen, enveloping Mia's space. Dark clouds roil ominously above Lydia's house, the morning sky heavy with impending storm. The wind howls, whipping through the trees surrounding the house, a symphony of nature's brewing fury. Rain begins to fall, each drop a stark reminder of the turmoil gathering both outside and, perhaps, within. The house stands silent, a solitary beacon against the encroaching darkness of the storm. The scene fades to black, leaving only the echo of thunder and the anticipation of what is to come.